The 6.2 liter supercharged V8 is officially dead. Salute to the Hellcat engine. Hey everyone, before we dive into today's video, I want to tell you about Octane Coffee Company. It is the car-themed coffee company with a variety of different roasts paired with iconic names. You've got Big Block, Race Gas, The Goat. It's perfect for early morning cars and coffee or cruises down the canyon. It is the coffee for all car enthusiasts. Pick up your bag at octanecoffeecompany.com, link is down below, and get 10% off your first order using promo code Octane10. Now back to the video. Okay, so it is a sad day for really all car enthusiasts, and that is because it is the end of the Hellcat engine. This morning, Ram announced that the last vehicle that still had the Hellcat engine is coming to an end at the end of 2023. I'm of course talking about the Ram TRX with that supercharged 6.2 liter V8. The 2024 model year will be the last year, but production only goes until the end of 2023. So we really only have about 4 months left of that Hellcat engine. Now, we all kind of saw this coming. I mean, last month, Dodge ended the V8 Hemi powered versions of the Challenger and the Charger. Also, if you come to think about it, Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk hasn't been in production since 2021. That's a vehicle that kind of fell off a cliff and nobody really talked about, but they didn't carry over the SRT or the Hellcat engine into the current generation Jeep Grand Cherokees. So it's been a couple years since you could buy a Grand Cherokee with a 6.2 liter Hemi V8 brand new from the dealership floor. You also have the Dodge Durango Hellcat, which was a limited 1 year run back in 2021, and then they brought it back for 2023, but there has been no discussion about continuing it into 2024. So with Jeep gone, the Durango ending its production at the end of this year, you have the Chargers and the Challengers ending their order books last month. The only remaining vehicle with the 6.2 liter Hellcat is the Ram TRX, and as of today, it's coming to an end at the end of this year. And it's a sad day because this engine is iconic. I mean, it catapulted Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, and Ram to an entirely new stratosphere and opened up a whole new world of competition from the likes of the Shelby GT350, the GT500, Camaro ZL1. These cars have really become the most iconic vehicles in Dodge's lineup. I mean, never before has Dodge had the same type of status as it does today, aside from maybe the old school muscle car days of the 60s and 70s. I mean, their reputation has been built solely around the Hellcats brand. And it's kind of crazy that that is all coming to an end in a matter of just a few more months. Now, I'm not too worried about the ongoing existence of Ram and Jeep after the Hellcat engine is discontinued. I mean, Ram, the 1500 is a volume seller. They have plenty of different engine options for that. The TRX was really just kind of a showpiece, a flagship model that was meant to compete with the Raptor. So, you know, that one disappearing won't kill Ram as a brand. Same with Jeep. The Trackhawk wasn't a huge seller, and honestly, people bought Jeeps for off-road capabilities. You have the Wrangler, which is still an incredible seller. You got the 4xe in the Wrangler and the Grand Cherokee, which is another very popular vehicle. But the brand that does concern me a little bit is Dodge. I mean, as it stands today, they only have 4 models. You have the Charger, the Challenger, the Durango, and the newly introduced Hornet. And at least 2 of those vehicles, the Charger and the Challenger, are not going to continue in their current form after 2023. At the same time, a brand can't really survive off of the Durango and the Hornet. Those are just 2 vehicles, and I'm not sure if those 2 alone can sustain Dodge going forward for the next 10 years. And Dodge has made 0 announcements about its future, aside from hinting at an electrified future and showing off the Dodge Charger SRT Banshee concept about a year and a half ago. But there are no concrete announcements of models coming out the showroom floor on January 1st, 2024. And if they're canceling these other vehicles by December 31st, they really should have some sort of flagship aspirational vehicle that is going to get people into the dealership floor and maybe buy something like a Durango or a Hornet or maybe a more affordable version of some of the other vehicles they're going to be hopefully introducing. But to this day, there really hasn't been any type of aspirational vehicle announced by Dodge, and that concerns me a little bit. Stellantis' CEO announced each of the brands that go under Stellantis' umbrella have about 10 years to prove their worth, or they're going to be killed. Now, I don't think Jeep or Ram is going to fall into that category because they sell lots of vehicles. But it concerns me that Dodge may fall into that category if they don't have something extremely compelling that will sell in volumes and maintain relevancy to the brand. I mean, I don't think Ford can survive off of just the Mustang, just like I don't think Dodge will be able to survive with just another Challenger or Charger. They're gonna have to create more models, and they're gonna have to make them interesting and compelling. Now, the question is that going to alienate their brand? Because at the end of the day, Dodge has built its brand on being muscle car enthusiasts. And if you have half a dozen crossovers in your fleet that aren't necessarily muscle cars, you may lose some of that touch with your customer base. In addition, introducing some hybridization or EV models is something else that can alienate your audience. And that is something that concerns me because without that diehard audience, you may not be able to attract customers from other brands like Toyota, Honda, Kia, manufacturers that on paper make boring vehicles but sell lots of them. And I think that might be the direction that Dodge is wanting to go, but they really have some strong competition and you're not going to have that support from your diehard fans. I mean, think about it. Here I am sitting in an essentially 15-year-old vehicle because I love Dodge's brand. I love the horsepower, and for that reason, I'd rather sit in this than say like a Lexus LS500 or even like a Honda Accord, is because even though this has its faults, I love the brand, I love the horsepower, and I love the engine. And without at least two of those things, you may not have people like me continuing to buy these vehicles. So hopefully Dodge has something up its sleeve and they just haven't announced it yet. They are great at marketing, and maybe this is just building up hype, selling all of the remaining inventory they have and making as much money as they can, and then announcing something so amazing that gives the Ford Mustang and sports cars like a Corvette a run for its money. That's truly my hope, and I hope that they don't go down the direction of just making boring crossovers or SUVs. I did find it interesting that Tim Kuniskis, the CEO of Dodge, did make a small foreshadow about the TRX, and I quote, "This current chapter in Ram's high-performance trucks is coming to a close, but it's not the end of TRX's history. While we'll have more news to come at a later date, we're proud to offer our loyal performance enthusiasts the very special TRX 6.2-liter supercharged V8 Final Edition." So there's a lot you can read into this. I don't think there's going to be a Hellcat replacement with another V8 supercharger or even just a naturally aspirated V8. I think he's probably hinting at a twin turbocharged V6 or inline six, one of the Hurricane engines. It's very likely that those are going to be trickled up into the next generation TRX, and likely no more V8s. But at least it does give me a little bit of hope that they have some sort of announcement left at a later date that's to be disclosed. And I'm assuming that same engine and powertrain will be used in some of the future generation Dodge Challengers and Chargers, whatever they end up being called. In either case, I want to salute the Hellcat for everything it did and contributed to the car society. Without this engine, we wouldn't have some of these high-powered competitors, and it really did change the game. And it really is incredible that it had an 8-year run in today's day and age where Dodge is paying millions of dollars in penalties and fees for its gas-guzzling V8s. Let me know what your favorite part about the Hellcat engine is down in the comments below. Are you sad about this future of Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Chrysler brands going likely away from supercharged V8s? Or do you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you think they're going to introduce something that will blow these old archaic engines out of the water? But until next time, everybody, I do hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you hit that like button if you did, and subscribe to the channel for all of the weekly videos. Also, check me out on all the social media at Schwazy_. Until next time, everybody, I hope you stay Schwazy, stay healthy, have a wonderful day.